Now, Apple has released the newest iteration of its Apple Watch, and we now have the Series 9. Undoubtedly, this is the best watch Apple has ever created in terms of technology and functionality. But that begs the question, is this watch worth upgrading, especially for those who already have an Apple Watch? And particularly, if you're coming from a Series 4 or older, is this the perfect time to upgrade, or should you wait for the generational Series 10 that will be launched next year? Hi guys, my name is Manny Rataul, and in today's video we're going to be going into an in-depth review of the Apple Watch Series 9, its functionality, its features, and to see if it's worth purchasing or upgrading over a previous generation that you may already own. And if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button to keep in touch with all new tech content that's released on a weekly basis. Alright guys, first we're going to start off with the design and build of the Apple Watch, and this specific model is the 45mm screen in midnight aluminum, so it is the black Apple Watch, and I ended up getting a custom Nike band with it. I opted not to get a silicone band or the standard single loop. I really like the fabric bands. They're easier to wash and clean, and honestly the green Nike band really pops off. And if you haven't done so, I actually did an entire unboxing. You can find it right here to go in depth of what comes inside the box. Now, in terms of the actual design of the Apple Watch, really much hasn't changed. You still have the curved glass on the top, which changed a few series back. You get the turn dial as well as the singular button on the side, and that's pretty much it. And honestly, I like the simplicity and the square design that Apple has decided to keep. It really separates itself from all the other smart and Android watches that are out there. Now, as I mentioned previously, this is the 45mm sized Apple Watch, a big upgrade from my Series 4 that I'm running at 40mm, and I initially thought that the 45 would be too big, but honestly, the 45mm, even on my small wrist, is the perfect size. On top of the size, the Apple Watch Series 9 now comes up to 2000 nits in direct sunlight. So if you're in bright conditions, you never actually have to worry about squinting or not being able to see what's on your watch. In any condition, the Apple Watch is just very, very vibrant and super clear. Now, a major upgrade that was made to the Series 9 watch is obviously the upgraded processor, the S9, and someone who's coming from an S4, this processor is extremely fast. I noticed that opening apps and just loading simple things on the new watch was substantially faster than my Series 4 Apple Watch. And initially, I thought it wouldn't be such a difference, but it actually is. Newer apps are more demanding, are larger in size, and require more memory and processing power, and the S9 handles it perfectly. Now, the coolest features with this new watch is the new gestures. The pinch, the double pinch, and the clenching. And I initially thought that these gestures would just be novelty features that you would use the first couple of times as a party trick and then sort of move on. But I noticed that I rarely even touch my watch, and I can do everything just by pinching my two fingers together. Because most of the time, you want to disable notifications or select the most default notification. And with these gestures, you can absolutely do that. Now, I do want to say that this feature does not come enabled out of the box. I almost pulled my hair out because I didn't have it enabled in settings. So you actually have to go into your settings on the watch, go into accessibility, and make sure these hand gestures are enabled. Like I said, they do not work out of the box, and there's nothing wrong with your watch. You just have to enable it in the features. And like clockwork, every year Apple makes improvements to Siri, and I gotta say that Siri is actually quite responsive on the Apple Watch this year. I can open up apps and start workouts straight by asking Siri to do it. And like I said, one less thing to touch on the Apple Watch and making my life a lot more easier than not having to pick up my phone. It makes a huge difference. Now, some people are not the biggest fans of Siri, and some people have disabled Siri out of the box. But for the first time, I decided to give it a try, and surprisingly, I think Siri is the best it's ever been and actually usable. And also, a super new cool feature is finding your iPhone. Now, you can absolutely ping it like your previous watches, but with improved iPhone tracking, it actually will give you a distance in meters of how far you are from it. So if you're someone like me that loses its phone all the time, then this feature is definitely going to come in handy. Now, people purchase the Apple Watch for many different reasons. Some people want to have an extension of their phone, meaning that they don't want to look at every single notification on their phone, and they want to be able to respond to messages on the fly just on their wrist. But other people, and I gotta say a large quantity of people, actually purchase the Apple Watch for staying fit. That means working out and running and pretty much playing any sport you can imagine and having it tracked on the Apple Watch. And I gotta say that the apps that are integrated into the watch are some of the most sophisticated and accurate apps I've ever used on any sort of device. Any workout that you know, any workout that you may even think of is integrated into the base and default apps on the Apple Watch, and it tracks everything from calories burned, your heart rate, duration, peaks and dips, and what you can do to improve those workouts in the future. And honestly, this is such a big selling feature from day one, and Apple has continued to improve it even with the Series 9. And it's one of the biggest reasons why I actually ended up purchasing this Apple Watch and why I'm going to end up keeping it. Now, cool new additions on the Apple Watch is the blood oxygen level sensoring. It'll let you know what your blood oxygen levels are, and you still get the standard heart rate monitoring. Also, ECG is still available to see if you get a regular sinus rhythm, and for women, you do get cycle tracking on the Apple Watch. And of course, my favorite feature is the regular workout app. Whether it's traditional strength training, running, yoga, or any sport you can think of, it will accurately determine how many calories you're burning and how hard you worked out. Simple things like this make your life a lot easier and will allow you to see how fit and healthy you are. Now, outside of the health, you do get the standard notifications, so messages and phone calls all are able to be received and sent from the iPhone. And if you have third-party apps like WhatsApp, Snapchat, Instagram, you still get all those notifications and responses for that. So pretty much imagine the Apple Watch, for those of you who've never had it, as just a smaller screen and extension of your iPhone, and to give you a sneak peek of what you might have to do on your phone that you can more probably just do on your Apple Watch. And there is a lot that you can do on this thing. Now, if you don't want to use gestures, you can navigate the app. It's very simple. You use the dial to scroll through the different apps, or you can touch and scroll with the screen. Opening apps, it's simple. You just click on it, and if you want to close apps, you double click on the dial and you can close out apps, similar to how you would close out apps on your iPhone. Other than that, it's very, very easy to navigate, and the learning threshold is actually quite low. So whether you're a child or whether you're elderly who's not familiar with technology, getting around and setting an Apple Watch is very, very simple. Now, one of my favorite upgrades to watchOS every single year is the new watch faces that you get. And there are so many watch faces to choose from, and you can customize each and every individual one of them. So you can have them as simple as you want. You can have a chronograph, almost looking like a Rolex, or you can have the most sophisticated watch face known to man, and you can customize every little detail of what you want to be shown and what you want to be notified on each watch face. You can navigate it all through your watch, or you can use the watchOS app on your iPhone and set things up in there. Now to the main question, is this watch worth purchasing? Now, first I want to start off with the price. The price of this watch in 41mm screen size is $399 USD. You're going to be paying an extra $50 if you want to upgrade to the 45mm. And if you want to go up to stainless steel, you're going to pay $300 more at $699, which is a lot. Now, my watch was $459, and I think it's a pretty reasonable price to pay for what you get. Now, you do have the option of going to the Series Ultra or the Series SE, but in my opinion, the Series 9 is the perfect encapsulation of every single feature that Apple's ever created and integrating it almost perfectly in terms of functionality and performance. The issue that I had with my Series 4 is that over time, and having owned for almost 5 years, that every year with the watchOS upgrades, apps and performance seems to degrade. With the new Series 9, it's pretty significant how far these watches have come in terms of the CPU and how fast apps load up. So if you're coming from a Series 7 or higher, I would probably skip out on it because performance is going to be only incremental and you might not even notice it. But if you're coming from like a Series 5 and prior, then the performance upgrade is pretty significant, and I absolutely recommend that you purchase this watch. And that is it for the video review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something new. And if you end up purchasing the watch, let me know what spec you end up getting it in and what kind of band you get by putting it in the comments below. And like I said, if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button to stay on top of all the videos that I post on a weekly basis. 99.1% of my viewers aren't subscribed. So that means people are watching it, but sometimes videos slip out of your channel because notifications don't pop up. So while you're at it, after you subscribe, hit the notification bell as well. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.